We good to go.
Yes. Let's do this.
I'm gonna have to get a new camera.
All right, what's wrong with your camera? It's good.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Heather Rose. I'm just shooting live today. I met up with a friend of mine from, I don't want to say
2002, 2003. I'm going to put it out there.
Ain't nobody asked you all of that. Dang, that's a long time. We gonna have to get this lighting together. I don't know what's going on.
Press pause for a second, get the lighting right. I mean,
it ain't. I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean,
yeah, it ain't gonna work. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
We good. So, we just having a conversation today. We're gonna touch on some more things about champagne and how it impacted us in our life a particular way, but at the same time it did motivate us to do more and want more and to grow and to become better adults.
Okay.
You know? So all right, let's get to it. Dang. We was talking and conversating, but let me just get like a little introduction of who you are, what you do, you know, that type of stuff, you know.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Toa. Everybody call me TK. I live in Champaign for, I would say, about 16, 17 years now. Went to Champaign Central High School. Grew up in Bradley, McKinley. And that's the point. That's something you guys should just consider. You know, it's supposed to be the roughest place in Champaign. But I moved on from there. Man,
I need to do something about this. I think that's what it is.
What?
There we go. I had to put something on there, man.
Yeah,
all right, there we go, right there.
Came from Bradley McKinley, went to Central High School, went to Parkland for 2 years, dropped out. I'm going to state that. And then started working for Champaign Urbana Mass Transit. You know, MTV changed my life, you know, because I went around people that have a different mindset than I had.
Right.
So my mindset was hanging around, running around, doing things that wasn't right, going to the club. But when I got around older men that was more about business and life, it structured me. And I think as a young man growing up in Champaign Urbana, we all need somebody to be vulnerable with. Somebody we can talk to. Somebody we can tell things that we don't feel comfortable telling our own parents or our peers.
For sure.
And that's what I found in MTD. You know, in a guy by the name of Ron Lewis and another white guy by the name of Dennis Larson.
Wow.
They helped structure me to mold me into the person that I am today.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
That's a little bit about me. It's more to come.
Wow. I mean, because a lot of people don't really talk about, you know, opening up, being vulnerable, let alone, like, dishing out all their emotions to somebody else and, like, connecting. You know, we have that disconnect nowadays.
Yeah, because I think society make it that way. Society make it seem like if you're a man, you can be weak. And I'm on here to tell you it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry in front of your friends. It's okay to cry to your mom. It's okay to cry to your dad. It's okay to cry to your wife, your girlfriend, your son, your people you trust. It's okay. Even if you don't trust somebody, it's okay to cry. Because guess what? When you cry, you release your stress. That stress level, that stress level goes down and your mind actually get clear and you can actually think about things that is productive to your life. Instead of holding that stress thing and allowing that venom to build up to the point that somebody say hi to you, you want to fight them. It's nothing cool about fighting. So calm it down, find somebody you can talk to, trust someone. It's okay to trust someone.
Yeah.
You know, so
wow.
That's how I deal with mine.
You something else, man. Dang, I didn't know you had all that in you.
But
I'm joking.
We never, I got you. We never talk about stuff like that.
No, we don't.
We laugh and joke and hang out. I mean, that was the high school / Walmart working days.
Yes.
Let me say Myers working days. So, I mean, I'm glad we can reconnect.
Yeah.
And figure out how we can elevate each other to the next level.
For sure.
I know you're going to blow up with what you're doing. I mean, you might not see it now, but I see it. So that's why I'm trying to see how we both can get together and create something that other kids that grew up in Champaign Urbana.
Right.
I know because I mean, like we all grow up as black people grow up. We all have negativity around us.
Yep.
Well, I got friends that are in jail. I got friends that did things that was wrong. But I was always told to stay focused on what it is your goal is. Just because she's doing this doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah.
Just because this other person is doing that doesn't mean you have to do it. Your goal is your goal.
Yeah.
You got one mind, you got one heart.
Right.
What's in your mind always impact your life.
For sure.
So
for sure.
Focus on changing your mind, then focus on changing your physical appearance. I think a lot of us, we grew up in a society where we glorify clothes and shoes.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Changing our physical appearance, and we forget to change the most powerful real estate we have, our mind. If you change your mind, look, when your mind is impacted in a positive way, clothes and shoes and cars, the materialistic thing, they will come.
Yes.
Because your mind will lead you into a higher place where these things won't matter.
Right.
For you to know who you are. Clothes don't make you. Makeups don't make you.
No.
The shallow things don't make you. Read more books. If you can't read, man, do me a favor. Get on YouTube and get these free books that's out there. Listen to a free book. It's okay to listen.
Yeah.
You not everyone know how to read, man.
For sure.
But pick up the book, listen to it, just like you listen to your 50 Cents or your Jay-Z, whoever you listen to. Listen to a book. It's okay to listen to a book. No one has to know you listen to a book.
Right.
They won't hear your headphone in your ear. So put your book in your ear and listen to it. Feed your mind, man. Change that. For
sure. For sure. I'm listening to a book right now, man. It's blowing me away. Oh my gosh.
Before I even came on here, I was listening to a guy named Tim Ferry. I remember we were just talking about it. I'm listening to Tim Ferry. And look, information is more powerful when you're using it to make yourself better.
For sure.
So if you're not using the information to make yourself better, you might well just stop living.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God.
Another thing too is street life ain't gonna last.
Oh no.
So you better prepare yourself for something better.
Yes. Yes. You know? Yes. BJ on here. Thank you, BJ. He said, "Hey."
Hey, BJ, how you doing, man? How you doing?
So did you include your title? I don't even think you said all that.
I mean,
Do you
I think the title really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I think I don't want to put myself on a platform that I want people to look at me different.
Okay.
You know, I grew up in Champaign. I'm doing some things in Champaign. And if you one of my tenants or you somebody that I hang around, you know what I do. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about impacting the people that listen to this tip or the people that listen to this recording, the kids. If any kid want to get in contact with me, it's so easy. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. I mean, you can find me all of this at toakapor@gmail.com. I'm easy. 217-721-9504. It's my phone number. I haven't changed it. I had it since I was 16 years old. I'm not going to change it. Feel free to call me if you want. If you have questions about real estate, you have questions about building your credit, you have questions about life, you just want to talk, period. Hit me up, man. My line's open.
Man, you solid. So solid. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. You know? Some things, you know, I look at Champaign-Urbana and man, it's growing like crazy. I just said it the other day. The University of Illinois, for their fundraiser, they raised $107 billion.
But you see,
I
mean, those things are great. But the thing is, it's great that the University of Illinois is growing. But how is that impacting the Black community?
Yes,
that's the things that I think our leaders as Black men in the community in which I grew up in, and that's why I give guys like Ron Lewis. I gave Ron Lewis a whole lot of props. Maybe at the time when we were talking, he didn't realize the impact he was having in my life. Or somebody like I'll also state this guy, Tracy Pettigrew. Tracy Pettigrew impacted my life in so many ways that you can't recognize because I was so involved with these guys. I told them everything I did in my life. So if I was on the path that was wrong, they let me know right there. Look, this is not the things you need to do. Invest your money in this. Invest your time into this. Man, when I first started working at MT, I was 23 years old. You know, and for the 10 or 11 years that I was there, believe it or not, it impacted my life because when I started working at MTD, I never knew what a Roth IRA was, a deferred company was. Yeah. But being around positive people, they started showing me how to invest this money and how to buy my first property. You know, people change people, man. Yeah. So if you have positive people in your life, embrace them. Bring them in. Don't push them away just because they're telling you something that you don't believe right now. Yeah. Because what you are not seeing right now, somebody else is seeing, and they're trying to help you. but you in your own way. Get out of yourself. Let somebody else lead you to the water. Maybe you can take a drink. But if you fight it and you don't get the chance to get there, guess what? You stuck where you at. You are.
Man, yes. Man, this is a good interview.
I mean,
this is a great interview. It's just because most of the time I don't get to see too many black men doing things like you are. I see them, passing by maybe, but it's not too many of them because, yes, I know a lot of people that are in jail, dead or...
Let me say this, because I remember, going to Central High School, I was the African kid, that everybody asked did y'all wear clothes in Africa? Those things was funny. Yeah. But at the same time, we were talking about this earlier. When I talk about unintentional bullying. There's some things that hurt. Yeah. And there's certain things I think as black people, we have to recognize. It's always better to lift somebody up than to stomp on them while they're down. For sure. I don't want to put myself on a plateau to say, oh, I own the world, I'm doing this. But I'm doing better than most people. For sure. That I went to high school with. Right. It's surprising that some of my classmates would see me and say, sir. I'm not sir. I'm your friend. You still can refer to me as TK. You still can refer to me as the guy who went to Central High School, the guy who worked at Mike. You still can refer to me as that. Right. I mean, I don't want to change my image, but I want to change somebody else's life. For sure. What I do, I'm just a regular guy. I buy houses, flip them, and make money. Got tenants. Those are simple things that I do. I no longer drive for MTD because I chose to, because I feel like it was MTD brand. It was not my brand. Right. And in order for me to control my life, my freedom, I have to create my own brand. So I went out and got into business for myself. So I run Sunny Kapoor LLC. It's my own thing. Nobody tells me when I spend money. Nobody tells me what to buy, what not to buy. I make all those decisions. Okay. And anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone out there can do it. It's not complicated at all. For sure. It's just the information you have to sit down and invest in your brain. Like I was saying earlier, change your mind, your life will follow. For sure. For sure. So I understand that you talk to people and they kind of opened you up for, that change. Yes. What really made you really start thinking about that brand, that TK brand, that... But you see, all of that started with when Ron Lewis asked me, he said, you buy all these clothes and shoes and you got a car, you putting rims on it and stuff, and you're trying to live a life that you don't know you live in. Who are you trying to impress and why? He said, if you sit in your room at night and you look in the mirror, who do you see? Do you see this person that have this facade that they enjoying life? Or you live in all of this because you want to please the eyes of someone else? He said, take your eyes out your head, hold it in your hand, and look at yourself. If you can do that, what do you see? Because you're spending all this money, and you're going to look back 5-6 years, and you ain't going to have nothing but a bunch of material things. Right. At the time, I was going to the mall like every other 23, 24 years old, buying shoes, buying clothes, having a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. Then money in the bank account. So when he said that, he also started guiding me like, man, this is how you take $1 every time you get paid and invest it into this. Take $1 every time and save it. Learn to live on 70% of what you make. Wow. And the other 30% invested. Those are things that he told me. And when I look at Ron Lewis, I have my dad, I have God, but he right there up with everybody else. Because if it wasn't for him, I won't learn how to save my money. I won't learn how to invest my money. I won't learn how to manage my time, how to be able to be friendly with people, just to have fun with life. It's not always about being serious. It's not always about working. I mean, work is great. But if you work a whole year and you make $40,000 and you look in your bank account and it said -$5, where did the money go? Right. And that's the problem we have in the black community. Yes, we do. We have that problem. A lot of us watch our mom and our dads goes over to a payday loan or check cash and flip to cash get checks. But what we don't realize is we don't sit down and look at the economic side. I didn't realize how powerful the economic side of life was until I took an economic class in college. That's when I realized that, man, Money is really powerful.
Yeah.
But we don't understand it in the Black community. How can we change it?
That's true.
How can we change it? Just imagine. Let's take on a Giving Friday.
1
million Black people decide to go to the check cashing place to cash a check that charge $7 per check.
$7.
That check cashing place just makes $7 million that day.
Yeah.
And when we can take that same $7 million and invest it back into our community by just talking, having a conversation, and teaching people how to open a checking account and not to be afraid. The bank is not going to keep your money. That's saying that people say, you put your money in the bank, you can't get it back. That's not truth. That's a lie. But you just have to be responsible as an individual. Learn. It's so easy to do. Learn as much as you can.
I think it's discipline too, though.
Yeah.
We're not disciplined.
Where is discipline starts?
At home.
It starts at home. And, you have to understand. Your dad can only teach you what your dad knows.
Right.
Your mom can only teach you what your mom knows.
That's true.
Remember, you're just as smart as your teacher. And if you're in a room and you're the smartest person in that room, you need to leave, find another room. Because think about it.
Yes.
Let's say your dad was born in the 50s and 60s, like my dad and mom. Their knowledge of technology is limited.
Yeah.
So if I want to learn something about Facebook, my mom can't help me.
No.
I'm using that just as something that we all can refer to.
Right.
If I want to do something on Twitter, my dad can't help me. I have to find somebody who is young, who's into technology to teach me. And that's the moment when I say be vulnerable to somebody. This is the moment I'll come to you and say, hey, Heather, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me?
Right.
Maybe you might not have the time to do it now, but you can say, oh, I'll refer you to somebody down the street who can help you. Knowledge just got passed on.
Right.
Now you impact my life. Now I can go back and teach my mom how to do it.
Right.
So these are the things we have to learn to be vulnerable to each other so we can grow. We can only grow in our community if we show that, hey, I'm weak, you're strong, help me get stronger.
Right.
Not, oh, she thinks she all that. No, it's not about you being all that. It's not what you have. Because people put up this facade, man, like their life is great. Reality, it's not.
They're broke.
Just
and broken.
Yeah. Just because you have an Instagram page that got 20,000 followers doesn't mean you're doing something. No. You just on a given Sunday you took 300 pictures and you found 2 that was great and you posted on Instagram to tell people you're doing good. But in reality, you hurt me. You look at the other 298, you looking at them like, man, I pop because they ain't on there.
Right.
And we all know that.
Yeah.
So stop selling images that is not real.
Right. Oh my gosh, friend.
Yeah.
Yes. Dang you. I don't even know. I had some questions, but
go ahead, man. Just pop something out your head. Let's talk about it.
What was the limits in Champaign? What's the limits in Champaign? Because you touched on it a little bit.
I think growing up in Champaign has the pros and it has the cons. I think growing up in Champaign, if you have people in your corner that is very disciplined and goal-oriented, you can elevate to another level in Champaign. But at the same time, I also think your growth limit in Champaign is very limited, especially if you're not in the University of Illinois.
Right.
So the things you can talk about, the people you can socialize with, the places you can go, is limited in Champaign-Urbana. Not to take anything away from Champaign-Urbana. I'm grateful that I grew up in Champaign-Urbana. I love this city. I will always be here. I'll say this. Vice versa, leaving Champaign and going out to Chicago, I met different people.
Right.
The lifestyle is different. The goal is different. The way people move, the way people talk is different.
Yes.
So Champaign is great to develop yourself.
Okay.
Find who you are. And move to somewhere else where you can actually grow that brain that you want.
Right.
Because you will meet people that are doing stuff on a bigger scale.
Right.
Where in Champaign, you probably limited to 3 or 4 people that you can get in touch with. And everybody's trying to get into touch with that person.
Right.
It makes it harder for you to have a one-on-one conversation with someone.
Yeah.
I was just fortunate enough to have the Tracy Pettigrew and around Lewis in my life to help me. I could have been down the path like a lot of people. Right. And be sitting in Champaign County. But God didn't want me to go there. No. And he put positive people in my life. And I think the key here is they might be younger than you. They might be older than you. Be vulnerable with somebody. Have somebody you can talk to, man. It doesn't matter what it is. Have somebody you can talk to on a day-to-day basis. It's explain itself. Because when you trust someone, they can help you grow.
For sure.
Without you even knowing they're helping you grow. Right. So Those are the things. Like I was just over my buddy High Sheldon. We were talking about just life, how we can live, how we can grow, and we, reminiscing on the past. He's like, man, bro, you remember when we were talking about starting a real estate company in a garage, blah blah blah. These are the things that we're looking back at it now, and it hasn't even been good 15 years. And I said to him, I said, you working on something now that I can't disclose, but that's going to be bigger and will help you look back and say, bro, you remember when I was struggling. It's okay to bounce ideas off of each other, but you have to have somebody who will look you in the eye and say, man, you messing up. It's bad for you.
Yep.
That's not the life you want.
Exactly.
But a lot of us have these friends that are so shallow that they get in their feelings when you tell them, bro, be quiet. They're not your friend. If you tell somebody to be quiet and they just angry for no reason because you told them to be quiet, they're not your friend.
Yeah.
You gotta cut them out your circle. Make sure your circle's so tight that air can get in it. When your circle got tight, guess what happened? The 5 people or the 6 people you deal with on a day-to-day basis know your life. Know if you married, know if you going out, know if you got vacation. And within that group, you guys will start to elevate each other.
Right.
I'm not saying live your life through somebody, but if I'm running a business and you my closest friend and you want to run a business, now it's my responsibility as a man to show you my blueprint, my steps. And I will also tell you, this is what I did, but there's other information out here that's bigger than what I'm doing. So you can feel free to mimic my information, or you can take mine and add a little twist to it and make it yours.
For sure.
I'm happy for you. That's what life is about. And I think that's black people in Champaign-Urbana or in the United States or in the world, period. We have to learn to elevate each other, no matter what the situation is.
Yes.
Don't hang on to something too long, man. Life is too short. Live your life, enjoy, and have fun.
Yes. Yes. What can we do as a community to, like you said, come together, unify a little bit more, because we have those violent outbursts. It's about to start getting kind of hectic outside because it's summertime, a lot more people,
I think all of these things that we go through, is sad, but at the same time, it starts somewhere. And I think every household, the father, the mother, the brother, the sister, everybody has to have some type of accountability. You can't say, oh, he's not my son, or he's my wife's son, or he's somebody down the street. The kid is a bad kid. No kid is a bad kid, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I think the neglect in the community for that kid caused that kid to look like the bad kid. So if we all come together and say, you know what, we have to change our community, but we take it one kid at a time. We can't change all the kids at the same time.
Right.
There's a kid. I remember when I was in Champaign and driving for the MTD, I used to do a route. I came from Franklin Middle School. There's a kid that rode my bus all the time. Some of you guys might know him, some of you guys might not know him. His name is Fred. Fred used to be the roughest, playful kid. He wasn't bad, but he was just playful.
Yeah.
And people look at him as he's a bad kid. But when I sat down and talked to him, I started mentoring. And now he's in college. So what that said, everybody can turn their life around. In the community, I think the problem we having in the black community starts with the leaders in the community.
Yes.
The leaders are so easy to label a person, quit helping that person, and just say, you a bad apple, go over here, we through with you.
Yeah.
What you do is, if you push that person aside, it's easy for other kids to say, okay, he's bad. Nobody messing with him. I'm just join him. So now he create a pack, and that pack start to get bigger.
Right.
And when you can treat it from the source when it first started.
You
can just say, you know what, maybe we need to be hard on him a little bit. Find out what causing the problem. Why is because sometimes I can speak for myself, man. Growing up in a household with a single mom, it's not easy.
Right.
There's some things as a man you want to go to another man to talk about, but you can't go to your mom. So that stuff just grow in you, and you have no one to talk to. So when you meet another man and you open up to him, what that does is it allows you to actually learn something that you didn't know at home.
Right.
So your mom can only teach you so much.
Yeah.
So our community, the leaders has to start there and stop As men, we need to stop shifting responsibility. Because I hate when guys say, it's his mom's fault that he like that.
Wow.
Because you gotta understand, it's not his mom's fault.
Yeah.
It's a group thing.
Yeah.
And
yep.
when you look at the structure of life, it's supposed to be God, the father, the mother, and then the kids. So, and I always say this, I say it's an upside down pyramid. A lot of people say the man is the head of the household. I said, no, it's not. The man is not the head of the household. And people try to be biblical and say, oh, God is the head of the household. Yeah, we can say God is the head of the household, but let's remove God out of the picture. Let's just look at the family structure. I think the man is the foundation of the household.
Okay.
Because if you are a father and you sitting on this pyramid, you see you the top. You the head of the household. Okay, cool, you the head of the household. What happened when the wind blew the roof off the house? Does that mean you go?
Right.
It's stronger.
Right.
It's the foundation of the roof. Because as a foundation, as a man, it's your responsibility to make sure your wife is okay. It's your responsibility to make sure your kids are okay.
Right.
If everything falling apart, you still got to be there to be that glue to say, you know what? I know things are hard right now, but my family's going to be better. So how can I wheel my son back in? How can I get a better relationship with my wife? How can I get a better relationship? Stop looking at what everybody else is doing.
Right. Yes.
You might make $10 an hour. I might make $50 an hour. If you make $10 and I make $50, and you're trying to live the $50 lifestyle with a $10 budget, you got a problem.
Yeah. Most
and that problem will cause you to start fighting with your own wife at home. Start hating your own kids and think they're the reason why your life sucks. Your life sucks because you ain't influencing your own mind. Your life sucks because you ain't taking the time to say, okay, I make $10. Let me talk to the guy that making $50 to see what he's doing differently that I can build upon. Right. You might not make 50, but you can make 25. You can make 15. It's better than the 10 you were making.
Right.
And when you stop growing up off that ladder, be disciplined. Don't go to the mall and buy everything your hands or your eyes can see, because remember, you will never please your eyes. Your eyes will never be full. You will always have something that comes out that your mind, your eye will tell you, I like that, I want that. We all do it, because sometimes you be at the table eating lunch and you eating your sandwich and you getting full and you're like, man, for dinner I might have chicken. Hold on, you can't finish what you got in front of you. It's the same thing with life. So when you have something that is growing and you got a family that is happy, be grateful. But also don't just dog other people's family because it's not going the way you want it to go.
Right.
Invest in your son, bad friend. Because that bad friends can also come together to make your community better.
For sure.
If you don't want somebody knocking your window in, invest in the kid. It's okay to invest in other people's kids. It's totally okay, because if Ron Lewis and Tracy Pettigrew never talked to me, what would my life be? Because I was down the path where somebody had a car, had rims on it, I want to put rims on mine. Somebody had beats in their car, I want to put beats in my car.
Right.
But those guys talked the logic in my head and maybe didn't go and get the rims, maybe didn't go and buy the beats. But instead, I took the money and invested in something else. And now I'm reaping dividend from it. So guess what? Everyone changed someone. Each one teach one. Like my man Denzel Washington always said, each one teach one. So let us all just invest. I think that's invest in someone, man, not material thing.
Right.
It's okay for you to take that same $50 you're going to buy a pair of Jordan with, or $150 you're going to buy a pair of Jordan with, and go buy notebooks and go to a school and give it away. It's okay, because guess what? The impact you having in these kids' life is something that they will carry for the rest of their lives. Yeah. It's not just, oh, I got a joint on my shoe, on my feet. Okay, you got a joint on your feet, not what? And you get mad because somebody scuffed your Jordan up, the step on it. You want to punch them in the face. It's not their fault that you spend $300 on a pair of shoes that you don't want nobody to step on. Right. I mean, that's what life is, man.
Yeah. Man, hey, he needs to have his own show then.
No, I ain't trying to have my own show. I'm trying to empower her to grow her show. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. We all have to help someone get to the next level. Because it's not just one person growing. You know, I always say this, you know, when people say, wow, but the black community, we struggling. We struggling because we're not loyal to each other. Yeah. And
we loyal to Jordan. We loyal to McDonald's.
It isn't so much loyal to Jordan, loyal to McDonald's. This is what I say. I say, you know, and I say this when I'm talking to my friends in the city now. When we talk about the South Side, we always say like, man, oh, Chicago's bad, the South Side is bad. In reality, the South Side is rich. But we don't see the richness. We want to see the poverty. We want to see the negativity on the South Side. But think about it. How many Arabs, how many Chinese, how many Japanese you know on the store on the south side? Even though we say it's bad. How many black-owned beauty store you know on the south side? Right. Think about those things, man, because the money is there. And this is no BS. I was in a real estate convention downtown Chicago, and I was sitting across this real wealthy guy. The guy had so much money. And I asked him, I said, what do you do differently in your business that I need to learn? Because for me, knowledge is power.
For sure.
And this guy told me, he said, why are other people focusing on buying houses in the suburb, in the most quiet neighborhood? I buy most of my houses on the south side. And I said, why? He said, because people don't realize no matter how bad the area is, someone's going to live there. And with Section 8 being so powerful on the south side, the money is guaranteed. So he get his money, regardless of what the situation is, he get his money. We have to start investing in our own. If you're a black person owns a chicken shack, stop going to JJ's Chicken and go buy from the black person chicken shack.
Right.
I know that the serving might not be as big as JJ, but guess what? You support your own.
For sure.
And the thing I see with us is this. You know, people always say the crib and the barrier syndrome. I don't think that's it. I think personally it's to simplify that you get to see me. And because you get to see me, you see my life change. Wow. And when you see my life change, this is what happens. You get envious, you get jealous, you get mad that my life is changing. So you stop supporting me. That's why black businesses go down. But we don't see the Arabs. They just show up Sunday morning or Monday morning and open the store. But when they leave in that beat up Toyota Camry that they drive every day and go back to their houses, let's take, for example, we use Champagne. If you see an Arab store on the West End or 4th and Bradley area, you don't see the car he drives when he get off work. You just see him when he come open that store in that beat up Toyota Camry. But then he go back to Cherry Hills or Ironwood and he live in a $400 million house. He driving a Tesla. His life is great. So we use the same thing in Chicago. You know, I look at it from a big scale. Wow. We have to invest in black people, black owned businesses, no matter what. For me, I make the conscious decision to say, I'm going to hire a black person to cut my grass at my rental property. I'm going to give a black business the first shot to do this, to bid on something. I don't care if they're charging me $10 more than the other person, because at the end of the day, I know the money come back to our community. Right. It's up to that person to go ahead and invest in somebody else. If I'm investing in you and you investing in someone else that doesn't look like you, guess what happened? The money leave our community a lot faster. That's why we can't grow. We have to circulate the money within our community. It's the only way we can grow.
Wow. Yeah. I asked you one question and you go for like 20 minutes.
The thing is, there's more information. It's not just a one word answer. You know,
that's true.
If you ask me, what's the weather like outside, I might tell you, say, oh, the sun is up, but the wind is blowing and it feels good. And somebody else might go out there and say, man, it's cold. So the answer is not always just one answer. I think you have to elaborate so you can touch everybody. I really believe that a lot of us who are in our 30s, we the next generation. We need to stop saying, oh, my dad didn't do this or my mom didn't do this. Because remember, I think I had that problem, so I'm going to go ahead and touch on it. We all have that mindset that our parents owe us something. Remember this. Your parents born, they give birth to you. You don't know their lives. I mean, and the reason I'm saying what I'm saying, because I was once upon a time in that hole, deep hole, where I felt like my dad wasn't doing much, my mom wasn't doing much. But it took someone else to help me see that the only price that my parents owed to me was giving me birth into this world. Because maybe their life growing up, maybe it was harder than mine.
It was.
Maybe it was harder. Some of them didn't have a good job. Maybe if your mom is like my mom, I hate to put my mom on blast, didn't finish high school. So if she didn't finish high school, that means she was limited to where? McDonald's and Burger King and Walmart. So when McDonald's and Walmart, Burger King's salary wasn't enough to give me that pair of Nike that I wanted. Wasn't enough to put me in the basketball camp or the soccer camp that I wanted to go to. So I'm mad at her for not doing it, not understanding that she was actually struggling just to put clothes and shoes on my back. We all have to go back and reevaluate ourselves, especially when you're in your 30s. If you're in your 30s and you still blame your mom and dad, something wrong with you, not your parents. I mean, that's just reality, not your parents, because they can't. We're going to use Champaign analogy because I think we're sitting in Champaign. I can't keep referring to Chicago. I just been there for about 2 years, so I'm going to leave that alone. But we in Champaign. Let's say you're on Prospect and Bradley, and you want to go to Walmart on North Prospect. Guess what? You ain't going to be looking behind you when you're going forward, do you?
No.
So it's the same thing when it comes to your parents. Your parents made that effort, man. You 30-something years old, you 20-something years old.